All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning into the Rich CELENZA show. So what I'm going to talk about today is actually schedules and scheduling. And how I was somebody who, who kind of grew up first with my parents owning a nightclub and then going to school and then kind of being around immigrant grandparents from Italy and kind of being mixed between corporate worlds and I guess blue collar, white collar artists, all these different types of people that had literally different types of schedules. It wasn't like a lot of my friends who had parents. Like say one of my closest friends, his father got up. He's an electrician. Got up at a certain time, went to work, came home at a certain time, ate dinner at a certain time, right? Then did homework, and then maybe watched some television, and then called it a day to a certain degree. Maybe have some fun playing some board games or playing some video games or whatever the case may be. I didn't live in that type of schedule. Even after my mother and father got a divorce, I was still bouncing between my father and mother. And my mother was a waitress or a bartender. So she would work days or nights. It was kind of all over the place. And of course, I'm going to school. But again, my life wasn't an exact, I guess, science. That's kind of ridiculous. But I did not have a set schedule, is what I'm trying to say, compared to all my friends. And even some of my family members as well. Because even if I went to my grandparents, a lot of them would kind of get up at a certain time, and then they would do some Italian coffees, and then we'd eat lunch, or we'd go maybe to Freddy's and Cicero, and then, on the weekends, maybe my grandfather would do a Saturday Mass instead of a Sunday, and then my mother would want to do a Sunday Mass, and then, even me my mother was very religious, so she was sending me to Bible studies on Wednesdays, say that was pretty consistent. CCD, that's Catholic class that you take usually before Mass. If you're younger, you want to get your communion, and then eventually you want to get your sponsorship. But back to all this scheduling, it always confused me. And my grandparents used to say, "Rich, you were born in the wrong country." They said I should have been born in Europe or in Italy because I didn't like waking up early, but I wanted my day to start off. And the way I guess my day would evolve was very, I guess, European. I also liked in the middle of the day or 12, 1 o'clock or whatever you want to say, I like to take a nap, chill out, and I wasn't able to always do that. I liked staying up late, and I liked eating late. But, as time went on, what I realized about scheduling was, for the most part, I kept abiding everybody else's schedule, or I thought I was crazy because I wanted to do all these. It wasn't just about, and here's the deal. A lot of people talk about, oh, you're not a morning person. Okay. You're a nighttime person. Well, not necessarily, because it just varied. Sure, a lot of times I like to stay up late at night or later, and then other times I didn't necessarily. I kind of wanted to go with what I felt like doing too. And a lot of people didn't understand this. And I was high energy, I guess you could say. So even if I'm in high school and I'm going to school, and then after school I usually played a sport, so I had practice or a tournament, or just a match, I should say, of some sort. And then the weekends came, again, a tournament, maybe not. But after school, a lot of times back to maybe playing a certain sport, I'd come home, and then I would weightlift. Then I'd even go run, right? And everybody else is going to bed or wanting to, go home just. And I really didn't do a lot of homework. I'm not going to lie. I just didn't do it. I just sat there. I was bogged down. They were trying to force me to learn things I didn't want to learn. And again, I would just start to come alive. The later it became, the more energy I started to have. It doesn't mean I didn't have energy throughout the day a lot of times. But no matter what, I was not going to bed before midnight. I don't care what age I was, unless I was extremely exhausted. It just was not going to happen. But then, as time went on, as a younger man, I went to work with my father. And he had a later schedule because we collected money in bars. And a lot of bars back then in the 80s, they weren't opening early. Most bar owners were independent. We didn't do a lot of chains, but eventually we did do a lot of billiard chains or gentleman club chains, restaurant chains. And, they had different hours where people would be there earlier, 8, 9 in the morning for pickup and drop off or whatever it was. It could be liquor, could be food, whatever the case may be. But for the most part, I started to sleep in till around 8:30. And I usually never slept in that early, especially when you're younger throughout your life, because you had to be at school either at different hours, 7:30, 8, 8:30, whatever the case may be. But holy shit, when I was still going to bed late, but I was sleeping in, even that extra hour, it was such a game changer for me. Now, that didn't mean I didn't like taking naps, but just kind of figuring things out, saying, wow, how much more energy do I have? Because going to bed at night was always a beast. It was the waking up. So if I went to bed at 12, 1, and you're getting up at 7, it's only 6 hours sleep. Say you go to bed at 1 or whatever the case, but if I'm getting up at 8:30, I'm still getting that like 7.5 hours sleep, and it was huge. My whole disposition changed when I started to rest more. My appetite changed. My strength changed. I was lifting a lot of weights then. I don't know, a lot of people, I can't speak for a lot of guys, but a lot of them say, hey, you're done growing at 18, right? Or around there. I was getting more gains when I was 19 going on 20 than I ever did throughout my teens. I even grew like 4 inches and I gained like 60, 70 pounds. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't eat more than I usually ate, but a lot of it, again, was changing because of my scheduling. And I think what happens, I'm just going to say this to a lot of people, I've been discussing this on my YouTube channel regarding fitness, is a lot of people are working out at the wrong time of day. You really have to, for one, pay attention to your energy levels. If you are somebody who only can fit a workout in the morning and go there because you have work and then you have kids or you have something to do or 2 jobs, I get it. You got to fit it in when you got to fit it in. But if you're not getting the results and you have no energy when you're going there and you're just dragging ass, you're not enjoying yourself, you may consider changing your schedule up, especially at night. A lot of people, I don't know why, they have a problem working out after work or later in the evening. I think they think their energy level is going to be down, which it may, because, whatever you're doing throughout the day. But there also comes a point where there's a calmness to it. One is when you work out in the mornings or if you're on a set schedule, you usually a lot of times are rushing through a lot of things. You are. And a lot of times you're thinking about so many other things that you have to do throughout the day. Now, I get that a lot of people want to work out and say, wow, I got it over with. I'm done at 9:30 or I'm done at 9 or whatever. And I could just go throughout my day. I got my workout behind me. I don't have to worry about it throughout the day. I get that. But back to later after work. Now, again, if you have kids, you got to get home too, make dinner, whatever. That's fine. I get that too. But if you don't have to do that, working out after work or in the evenings again, kind of your day's behind you a little bit. Now, if you have extra time in the gym, you want to work out a little longer, do a couple other things, who knows. And also, to me, my mind was clearer. Because now, I'm not saying it's entirely clear, but I'm thinking I'm not caught up with everything coming up. I've kind of put that behind. It's kind of the reverse. And if I worked out later at night, say 8, 9 o'clock at night, which a lot of people may be like, you're crazy. I was like, it's unbelievable. The gyms usually have no one in there. Again, I'm not rushing to do anything. Especially if I already ate dinner. Now I could just go to the gym and chill. It's almost like it's such a different environment and different feeling. Now, this can go for work as well or things I was creating. And this is when I kind of knew my schedule, I guess you could say. So I had 2 daughters and I was making my second feature film. And I said, this is going to be the time where I make a schedule where it fits my lifestyle entirely. This is it. So I had my daughters and sometimes I'd work off and on when I had them during the day in Chicago. And then at night, I basically shot my entire film with the exception of just a couple days. But I made a film at night. I wanted it to be dark and I wanted the freedom at night to just go, leave at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We'd work till 2 or 3 in the morning. I told everybody in the movie, this one, and said, it's going to be a night shoot. Everything's going to be nights. It's going to run late. Even if we just do weekends, we're just going to go at night. I'm not going to get obsessed with the lighting. I'm not doing any of that shit. I just want to make this movie at night. And what was quite interesting, again, is when I was shooting my other first feature film, a lot of it was days and all these different, I was always under these hectic schedules and everybody else's schedule. When it came to shooting at night, even my actors and my extras and everyone in between that helped me, it was chilled. It was almost like every time we shot was like an evening. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people were a little tired, but once I made sure everybody ate dinner, and then we just did what we had to do, but it was such a different environment. And the reason I keep bringing up all these things is your life, or the schedule you have, you may have been forced to deal with, and it may not be for you. And I don't think a lot of people realize this because you've been conformed or programmed to a certain degree to say, hey, you got to wake up, have breakfast, then you have to do whatever you want to do, then you have to get to work. I'm just using this for example. If you work a graveyard or a later shift, whatever, that's different. I'm just going by the average person. A lot of times working, say 9 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever, 8 to 5. They come home, a lot of times they have to make dinner or eat dinner. Then a lot of them, what do they do from there? A lot of people just kind of sit around. They have been maybe they're working on something in their garage. I'm kind of mainly talking about dudes here too. Or they sit around. A lot of times you just waste time watching TV. And, I discussed this in another video. A lot of people don't realize how much time they have at night. Talk about scheduling. When I was writing a lot of my screenplays again and working on many things to this day, my books and things in that nature, if I wasn't working on them during the day, I was working on them at night. And I was never obsessed with the television. And one of the reasons was I hate commercials. That doesn't mean I hate advertising, because I know we all have to survive to make money. And that's kind of, whatever it is, what it is. I just don't always like to watch commercials. So I used to watch things on VHS whenever I wanted, or I'd record them now, like I do now. So I usually am not, some sporting events I'll watch live, I should say, as long as I'm with people and I could conversate in between the commercials. So I should say that. But again, at night, a lot of guys and women don't realize, say from 6 to 7, excuse me, to if they go to bed even at midnight, it's 5 hours. I mean, what are you doing? Even if you go to bed, say 10 or 11, say you sit down at 6:30 on your couch, what are you doing? I get you want to play video games, and if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. But if you want to start accomplishing more, I say just start off small, like everything else. Even if you said, hey, for an hour, just an hour a day, I've been wanting to work on this. I truly want to read this book. Or whatever the case may be, if you think about it, just an hour, and say you do it 5 days a week, right? At the end of the month, it's 20 hours. I never understood how people, where there is something in your control, how they usually didn't accomplish it. And even when I'm putting up my YouTube videos or my podcast or whatever the case may be, it takes a while to do that shit. Even if it's a short video, even by the time you record it, you edit it, you still have to upload it, you have to share it. It's time consuming. But again, that's something I can control. If there's something out of your control, like when I was making films, let's say, for instance, I'm in control of creating my own film, but then I had to still base a lot around so many different things. My locations, my actors, people who helped me film it, obviously some of my cinema photographers possibly that were involved. It was really just a huge undertaking. And like I said, I was in control of like my own thing, but I still was kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm saying? I was just, I had a weight, I guess you could say. Now, if you're a production and you have tons of money, you go on a set and you do whatever you do, you knock it out in 30 days, whatever. I didn't have that. I had a budget that I had to work with, and I had to spread that throughout like a year or two. So it was different. But back to you being in control of whatever you want to do, even if it's you want to start a small business, or I don't care if you want to write a book. I don't care if you want to create a video game. I was working on an app, building a website. You could do it, man. You just have to schedule it in. But make sure, again, that the schedule you're creating is working for you. Because I think that's the killer. People try to squeeze shit in where it kind of doesn't belong in life. So then it doesn't get accomplished, or it's not done right, or you may even be like, I'm going to do it every morning before I start work. I'm going to do this. You may be half asleep. Or you're like, no, later at night before I go to bed, that's when I'm going to read the book. You're half asleep again. So again, back to the energy levels and the scheduling. Just really pay attention to both of those, and don't always conform, I'm going to wrap it up with this, to everybody else's schedule. And I know that's hard, especially if you're married or if you're in a relationship, because you get caught up saying, what is she doing? What is he doing? I got to wait to see. Oh, they're doing this, I got to do that with them. Of course, you're in a relationship. But also, if you want to get things accomplished, you're going to have to be more independent. And I think a lot of people that work for other people don't realize that. Because unless you own your own business, or you take on your own projects, a lot of times people are just going through the motions. They're kind of basing a lot of their life on what other people are doing or their schedules. Even, you wake up in the morning going to work, that may be your boss or whatever company you work for. After that, again, you may be even basing it around your friends. What are they doing? Is it happy hour? Are they going here? Are they going there? Oh, yeah, I'll go meet them. After that, maybe you work out, maybe you don't. Hey, what time? You have a workout partner? I'm going to go, with your girlfriend, wife, whoever. If they don't work out, okay, wait, I got to get home and, eat dinner. Okay, what's my, whoever I'm with, what are you doing after dinner? Oh, you want to watch a movie? Okay, I guess I'll watch a movie. Oh, you want to, go to the store? I'll go with you, go to the store. Before you know it, you really don't. What's your schedule? What are you getting accomplished? And I don't think a lot of people look at things like that, especially on weekends. I tell people, my God, you know how much time you a lot of times have on the weekend to do a lot of things? But they're crammers, I call it. And I may do a podcast on that, I call it, where they cram everything in during the week. And then on the weekends, they have all this time and they really accomplish nothing. And they have all these things that they want to accomplish. Not everybody, but a lot of people. I don't know why that is. And I get you want to enjoy your weekends. If you want to go to the beach, God bless you. Go to the pool. Go do whatever the hell you got to do. Go to a car show. And I get all the fun shit you want to do. I'm the king of that. But I also know on weekends, there's so many hours in between there that I could get shit done. Not even a workout, but writing content up, creating concepts for my new videos, or doing a podcast. I did that this Saturday on Halloween. My girlfriend was supposed to go to dinner Friday. They changed it to Saturday, and I was like, that's cool. So her and her girlfriends went to dinner. I was very fortunate because my friend has a real estate office in a beautiful spot, and I go do podcasts. He has things set up there, and I just went by myself Saturday night on Halloween. My mother really never let me get involved with Halloween, even though I love it. My daughters love it. But I just went Saturday night when she went to dinner, and my friends were all going out. Actually, some were going out for drinks. I didn't want to bother my daughters. And I just said, hey, let me go in there on a Saturday night. I know no one's going to call me. No one's going to bother me. And I sat there for 5-6 hours and just shot podcasts. And my point being is I now have some content for the next week, but I utilized that time. I didn't just sit around and go, okay, it's Halloween. They're doing that. They're doing this. Should I just go again and sit around and have drinks and cigars? I kind of did that last week. I want to get some more things done. So I don't mean to ramble on, but please fit the schedule or fit things in your schedule that really pertain to you, and you'd be shocked at what you're going to get out of that. Holy shit, this is 17 minutes. I thought it was 5-6 minutes. I'm definitely wrapping it up there. If you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Rich CELENZA. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you want to check out anything else about me, go to richcelenzapodcast.com. And I also have a program, Mastering Self-Confidence. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.